Welcome back, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the sweet spot. You made it. You made it here to Trust Yourself Thursday on the sweet spot. And you're doing just fine. So this is Dr. Derek Sweet. I'm a board certified psychiatrist. I specialize in sports and performance, but really I enjoy helping people live their best life and achieve the things they desire. So this week, we've been spending a whole lot of time in ancient wisdom. With so much going on around us, we felt as if it would be great to go into some ancient wisdom and see what pearls we could dig up to help us navigate. So Psalm 23 has been our best friend this week because it's been giving us a blueprint for navigating life's challenges and achieving peak performance. Can you believe it? A divine text from the ancient times from King David is helping us navigate today. Remember on Monday we talked about trusting the path instead of forcing things. When we allow ourselves to be led instead of trying to control everything, momentum flows naturally. That's what we got out of the line that said, "He leads me by the still waters," remember? And on Tuesday, we learned that fear only wins when we don't take action, when we stop moving. The key is to walk through the fear, to not be paralyzed by it, because action rewires the brain for courage. Remember the line that we looked at? Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, or anything. It could be sickness, it could be financial problems, it could be relational issues. I will fear no evil. Just taking action. And yesterday on Win It All Wednesday, we explored a really deep secret. We explored from ancient wisdom the power of the rod and the staff and how that tied into structure, and how structure is what athletes use to train their bodies, and that what we have to use to train our minds so that we can develop the habits, so that a particular part of the brain called the basal ganglia we talked about yesterday could help us reinforce those winning habits. Wow, who said ancient wisdom doesn't have stuff for us? We're breaking it down in Psalm 23 right now, and I'm loving it. I hope you are too. But hey, let's be honest. None of this works if we don't have trust. And today is Trust Yourself Thursday. So you can have the best opportunities in life. You can have the greatest mindset. You can have the best preparation. But if deep inside you don't have trust in yourself, trust in your decisions, trust in the one who made you, just trust. If you're constantly doubting yourself, you will always be looking outside yourself for validation, instead of realizing that you already have everything you need. And that brings us to today's insight from Psalm 23. What does the ancient wisdom have to say to us about trust? And here's the line. It's the very first line of the psalm, believe it or not. And you know this one. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. What? What does that have to do with trust? Oh, it has everything. Let's sit with that one for a second. I shall not want. Not I hope I have enough. Not I need to strive to get more. I'm just not going to want anything. I'm not going to be attached to wanting the outcome. I'm not going to be locked in on wanting it and needing it so bad. Now, whether you interpret that as a spiritual direction or a psychological trick or some kind of a mindset shift, the truth remains the same, my friends. You already have what you need inside of you. I think Emerson put it this way: what lies before us and what lies behind us is small in comparison to what lies inside of us. The challenge, my friends, is whether you trust that you have enough inside of you, or whether you're constantly seeking outside validation before you take an action or after you've taken an action. Only you know what the truth is there. And the science backs me up on this. Okay, there's a reason why self-trust is one of the most powerful mental assets you could develop no matter what field of life you're in. Enter the insula. What is the insula? It's a part of the brain, another part of the brain, and you know we love neuroscience here on the Sweet Spot. The insula is a key part of your brain that's responsible for self-awareness and mental decision-making. Did you know that? The insula, I-N-S-U-L-A. Yesterday we talked about the basal ganglia and habits. We talked about the prefrontal cortex as the CEO. And we talked about the amygdala, the fear center, trying to protect you. Today, we're talking about the insula around trust. The insula helps you and me sense what's happening inside our bodies. Our heartbeat, our breathing, even our instincts. It's what allows athletes and high performers to feel when they're locked in the zone, and it's what allowing leaders and other performers to trust their intuition in high pressure situations. Research shows that people with stronger interoception, or the ability to accurately sense their internal states, people who have a great self-awareness, they're better able to make decisions. They're better at handling pressure. And they stay confident under stress. They don't second guess themselves. They don't worry whether or not they're going to make a mistake because they've learned to trust what their body and mind are telling them. But here's the problem. When we're constantly looking outside of ourselves for validation, when we're constantly hesitating and double checking and triple checking and over analyzing or ignoring our instincts, our insula gets weaker. We are actually weakening our brain. The brain starts to prioritize external cues. Listen, the brain is smart. If it sees you doubting and checking, it's going to say something wrong. All right? And it's going to start prioritizing external cues over internal wisdom. And you're going to find that you're going to be one of the kind of people who's going to struggle with trust and constantly be anxious and always feeling like you have to ask somebody so you can feel confident. But here's the good news. You can train self-trust. You can strengthen the insula, that part of the brain that handles this self-trust area, right? You can strengthen it just like you would a muscle. And the way you do that is by, one, remembering the scriptures. I shall not want. Greater is he that's in me. Greater is that which is in me than what's in the world. Whatever your scripture is. We're in Psalm 23, so we're going to stick with the Lord is my shepherd. I've got a shepherd. I've got a provider. I've got something. I'm already taken care of. I'm already handled. Goodness and mercy, the psalm says, this is Psalm 23, is following me everywhere I go. Okay? So in this psalm, in this ancient wisdom, there's some phrases that you want to keep in mind and repeat to yourself and listen to these phrases so that you can train your brain to trust itself, to trust you. By listening to yourself, by making decisions and standing by them, by walking through the valley with no fear, or in spite of your fear, by walking through life knowing that you're already equipped with enough and with everything you need inside you, you're going to strengthen your brain. You're going to have more trust. You're going to win. And you're going to be able to adapt. And you're going to be able to conquer. You'll be more than a conqueror, I guarantee it. So here's my challenge to you on Trust Yourself Thursday. Where in your life are you hesitating? Where in your life are you not confident? Where in your life are you looking outside of yourself for answers? When deep down, you already know the right move. And you're smart. You're really smart. You're smarter than most, okay? So maybe you've been second-guessing some decision, my friend. Maybe you've been waiting for someone else's approval before you step forward. Maybe you've just been ignoring a gut feeling that's been nudging you in a certain direction. Today, I want you to take one action to trust yourself. To trust yourself. Maybe it's making a decision without polling 15 different people. Maybe it's just listening to your body and resting if you need to rest today. Maybe it's having the courage to say no to something that doesn't align with what you need to do, but it's not right for you. Because here's the truth. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You know what that means on Trust Yourself Thursday? That means you are already equipped. You don't need to chase. You don't need to beg. You don't need to contort yourself into some kind of a pretzel for somebody else. You don't need to wait for outside approval. You need to trust that you have a shepherd, that you don't need and have to want anything, and that you can take the next step and move forward in the full awareness that you have this trust. All right, let's lock this in with an affirmation. Say this with me, or just let it settle in your heart and mind. It's an affirmation. Let's go. I trust myself. I listen to my inner wisdom. I already have everything I need to move forward. I'll repeat. I trust myself. I listen to my inner wisdom. I already have everything I need to move forward. Wow. Yes, my friends. When you trust yourself, you move differently. You carry yourself differently. You step into the room differently. You step into life knowing you're more than enough. You're more than a conqueror. That's it for Trust Yourself Thursday. Walk with confidence, my friends. Walk with power, beautiful souls. And I'll see you tomorrow. You know what tomorrow is? Of course you do. It's Finish Strong Friday, and we're knocking it out here with Psalm 23. Ancient wisdom, King David, sending us a message from time immemorial for right now, for the issues we're facing right now. I'm Dr. Derek Sweet. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. No. I'm on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook. Not yet. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on X. I'm on Threads. I'm on YouTube. Plenty of places to get me. Look forward to seeing you. Be blessed.